Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Google Chrome, Star Ruler 2, with me, TheDragoclaw. So, in the last episode, we explained everything about setting up your character you possibly could, and I had a little look at our galactic neighbourhood. So the first thing we'll want to do is get a level 1 planet so we can get access to these explosives. Because these explosives produce 3 pressure of military variety. You can see the little shield next to that shield icon there. That means military pressure. Now, how a pressure system works is if we click on a planet here, you'll see that this bar has got money and labour. These indicate what pressures are on the system, and what the pressures do is convince our civilians in here to start building structures that are what these pressures are, if that makes any sense whatsoever. This tooltip can probably explain it better than I could, so I'll leave you to read that. So military pressures, what they do is they make our planet generate defences. So ships here, they'll be generated in the system for free, but you need the resource to be present in the system. If a resource is not present, the structures will remain, but they will no longer be continually produced. You can see down here that this system supports 2 pressures, so I can export the military stuff to here and it will start generating defences around this planet up to the number of pressures it can support, which is 2. Any pressure over that is developed at half rate, I believe, or reduced efficiency as it says there. Okay, so to colonise, first of all we left click on the source planet and then right click on the planet we want to colonise. You'll see it gives us a bunch of options, including exporting our resources and queuing up it says queuing because we haven't actually colonised it yet and we need to colonise it to actually do anything. So let's colonise the key 1. You'll notice it gives an ETA, it did give an ETA. Don't know if there's any way to get that back, but it's usually of a variety of 1.5 minutes. How the game works is it's mostly real time with a turn-based strategy element to it. You can see here there's a countdown timer, and basically when that reaches 0, whatever our current budget is will be sent into this box here, and what this box does is it tells it to send where to send the additional funds at the end of the turn. So you can send it into welfare to produce influence here, send it to subsidised power, which produces power, research grants to boost our research rate, and public works to increase production on the homeworld for a bit. Then, once we've dealt with this money, whatever is here, be it positive or negative, is our current budget for the next turn. So, yeah, basically, you can't save up in the game, you just have to use whatever you've got as best you can. However, it's not like just spend all your money as fast as you can, because you've also got to bear in mind what you want to do with your extra money. So you can save up and then invest 350 directly into influence and get a bunch of influence to spend on cards over here, which you can then use in diplomacy. It's all very intricate, and I've noticed in this game it's less about complexity and more about just being very intricate. Because systems will depend on each other entirely. So like if you lose like a fish, a food source for instance, it can destabilize a level 2 planet, or level 1 planet, which in turn destabilizes level 2, which in turn destabilizes level 3, and it can get really crazy like that, so you have to make sure that all your planets are very well protected, particularly even the less valuable ones as you would see them, just because they are the backbone of your empire. So yeah, I'm gonna press play now. I think that's everything I wanted to do. Yeah, I'm researching metallurgy. One bug I've noticed is that if you scroll down, as you're scrolling, the box stays where it was on the screen and not necessarily where it should be, so that's just a little graphical thing that is not really much of an issue. Yeah, let's just press play and let the colony ship start. So if we zoom in here, you'll notice very large colony ships which are transporting 0.1 billion at a time, or something like that, half a billion at a time, people to this planet over here. You'll also notice that our economy is decreasing. That's because we have to pay for these colonizers. You'll see underneath the budget they cost 5k each, and typically there's only around 10 to 12 or 10 to 15 at a time, because by the time that a ship is launched from here, one will have colonized here, so it eventually caps out at around about 60, maybe in the range of 50 to 80. Again, longer distance colonization takes longer and costs more, so that's a pretty unique element they've added. Also, right off the bat, I am going to build... Oh, this will be painful. I'm going to build a research complex. Also, another thing to note, whenever you spend the money in your turn, even if you destroy the structure that you've built or undo the building that you queued, you will lose the money forever. It's only the money next turn that you can recover. Alright, so we finally colonised Vic, and we have access to the water. You'll notice when we zoom out, it has water and a little plus next to it. That means the water is available to be used. If we double click on here, we'll see we're losing 100 a turn. That's because it's only a level 0 planet. So what we could do is we could either import some food, or we could colonise this place and export the water to it. And I think I'm going to do the latter. In fact, well... what I'm gonna do is, as soon as I've got everyone here, instead of upping this to a level 1 planet, I'm gonna colonise this and up it to a level 1. Just so then I can get access to these explosives and then start defending my homeworld. By the way, if you have a military exploitation pressure facet on a planet, the structures it generates do not cost you any money. Or I suppose I should say the ships it generates. It doesn't technically generate structures. I'll just call it that because I'm used to Sins of the Solar Empire. Okay, so while things are colonising, oh crap, we lost a lot of money. So we're going to have negative money this turn. And seeing as we didn't get 350k, I don't think that affected our influence at all. It's hard to know about influence. At least I struggle to find it. When it goes into other things like power and research, I think it's a pretty much direct 1-for-1. But yeah, I'm not sure how it works for influence. So while we wait, I suppose I could explain with this fling beacon. You can see the green circle around this area of space. It's if there's a ship within this that I control, I can choose to send it to anywhere in the galaxy, provided I have enough FTL power. So this is basically our FTL drive. If we do not choose to use this, then we will travel at the same speed that these colony ships are travelling at, which is pretty fast, but still sublight. Also, if you zoom in, you can see the a sort of sphere being slowly built around this planet. That tells you how far along the colonisation is. So you can kind of judge by that. Again, I have noticed that we are running low on, or rather we have very little water. This can be mitigated, however, if you have power. Because what power does is it allows you to activate certain events that you find in solar systems. For example, in here we might find a comet, and if we have enough power, 300 I believe, we can use that comet to deposit water on a planet. Power is generated by either having a power resource. Let's see if I can find one real quick. We might not have any. Do we have any coal around here? Any oil? Doesn't appear so. Okay, so no, we don't have any power resources around, which is pretty bad, but that's just unfortunate. Okay, I'm going to pause it here since we've colonised this place. You'll notice it's got this sort of like red border around it. That's because its current resource is not being produced, as in we can't use it yet. So what we're going to do is left click on this, right click on here and click export water. Click on this, right click here, export fish. Now what this will do as soon as I hit play is it will turn it into a level 1 planet basically instantly, and we'll start gaining population and increasing our income. It's also immediately given us access to that explosives, and I'm going to click on here and right click to export the explosives to the homeworld. Also, our research centre has been built, which means we're actually generating research at the moment. You'll see here is the estimated time till our research is completed, and this is the number of research points we're getting per minute. This icon here displays what you're currently researching. There's five sciences. I don't know what exactly to call them. But each level you gain gets you a bonus, and sometimes it gets you a project, like these two. Projects are capitalized on if you have an insight. Insights you can get via researching a lot, so if you have like 4 levels in like any technology, or like I believe it's like if you have 1 in this, 2 in this, and 1 in this, or well, that's a bad example, but 1 in this, 2 in this, and 1 in here, then you'll get an insight into a random thing, so like a military insight or a production insight. There might be other ways of getting these insights, I'm not too sure about though. Theoretical science, basically every time you research this, it gives you a theoretical insight, which you can use to do any project. So basically, if you research something, and then you're like, oh man, I really want to do that project, but I don't have an insight, the best thing to do would be to go into a theoretical science and pump out a theoretical insight, and then you can use it on that. You can get projects via other means, I believe, however, I'm not entirely certain on it, because I've seen projects pop up that I haven't researched, but I don't know where they came from. So, again, not 100% clear. Okay, yeah, another turn has passed, and we managed to save up some money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build us an exploration ship. Now, ships costs are split into 2. One here is the immediate cost, which comes out of this money and cannot be replaced, and then it's the per turn upkeep, which is permanently deducted from your per turn earnings, but can be refunded, I believe, if you scrap the production, or if it's destroyed. It also tells you how much production it takes right here, and how long it will take to build at the current location. 4 labour per minute is what's being produced by this factory here, and the and I guess it's just a factory. Perhaps there's a +1 from something else. We also see now we're getting a defense pressure. That's it. I keep forgetting that word. And research pressure. So now you'll see these civilians who are outlining grey boxes and slowly expanding their city are starting to build things that are using these pressures. So you'll see they've just built a launch pad here, which produces 1.5 defences and uses 2 pressure. And you'll see a university here, which gives us a research point, but takes up a pressure. So you can only build like 2 universities at the moment, because I've only got 2 pressures. Another thing to note in this game is that expansion is very, very, very necessary as fast as you possibly can. However, seeing as I don't have much water near me, it's gonna be a little bit difficult. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna expand to... where do I want to go? So I'm gonna expand to this planet, because that will get me some meat, which I can then send to the home world to level it up. Okay, the scout has been built, and I'm going to give it the auto explore option. I'm going to give it the auto explore with FTL, so it will use up it will use my fling beacon as much as it can, but it won't go below 125 FTL. So I've still got some reserve power in case I need to send another ship somewhere, which will be difficult seeing as I don't own another ship. It's got a few other options here: auto explore without FTL, manually flinging it wherever I wish, and manage supports. So this scout ship happens to have some support modules on it, which basically allow me to build it defences, so like ships that can't operate on their own, but have like a lot of guns and some defences and can sort of act as a fleet surrounding it. Now I'm not going to do this on the scout ship because it's just a scout, and if it comes across anything it's dead anyway, so I'm not going to waste money on giving it defences. But you might be asking, why am I scouting when I've already explored all these planets? It's because I can't see things within them, I can only see the planets themselves. I guess the idea is that we've been on our planet and we're using telescopes to have a look at suns to see if they wobble, and from there get whether or not they have planets around them. So basically that's what happened. There could be, as we saw, asteroids around here that we haven't detected. There could be fleets around here we haven't detected. There could be debris. Speaking of fleets, you'll notice that we've got a remnant ship here. I'm not even going to try and pronounce those names. And we've got a lot of ships around them. If I click on this, it'll bring up the dialogue of the fleet ship itself, including its supply, health, and strength. Strength is the, strength of a fleet. Ideally you want to go into a fight with more strength than the opponent. Oh god, my scout could be in trouble there. Hopefully it doesn't take too much damage. Looks like it got out unscathed. So yeah, this has like a strength of 1.3k, which is pretty powerful. We won't be able to take him on for a while. But you'll see this fleet has a strength of 196, which we could feasibly take out in the next couple of videos. But I probably won't go near it because then this ship might get a bit angry and start attacking me. Alright, so we fully colonised this place. I'm going to immediately export that to the home world, and that will make it level 2. So you can see it's got level 2, and production will go up, and it will allow us to have more pressure on the system, which will allow us to build more defences and get more production, etc, etc. You'll have to pardon the noises of me drinking. It takes a lot out of your voice when you do this. Alright, so up here we've got another one of those fleets, however it's relatively easy to fight off. We won't be able to do it now, but 143 power, we could feasibly do that pretty easily. Also, in this system, you'll notice we've got this asteroid with a water source on it. Basically, we can work this asteroid and put a water source on any planet we want, which is key because we don't have any water anywhere. So it's fortunate that we had that asteroid. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I've got a bunch of money here, so I'm going to pause the game for a second. Actually, I don't need to pause it, you can keep going. But I'm going to build myself a Dreadnought's big investment. I'm going to go to the design screen real quick. I've enabled an option so that whenever I'm not on the galactic screen and I think maybe also diplomacy and research screen. But the timer doesn't count down, so the game is paused if I go on to something like the design screen. That's just to help me in the early game. Seeing as that's not going to be feasible online, I'm probably going to have to wean myself off that, but for now, it's useful. So these are a list of all our ship designs. I am going to take a look at this battleship. It's got a size of 16, which, what does that do? That does something. Yep, fun fact, it does something. This has support commands, so yeah, this ship can support ships in its, additional ships. Its support capacity is 66, that's useful to know. And anything below size 16 is a, that's right, I remember what size does now, it's a sort of class. So like, size 8 ships like these, and 2 and 1, and 4, these are support ships which will be built to help defend these guys. And this is how much, I believe it's how much support they take up. So this ship will take up 8 command, and the gunship will only take up 1 command. Alright, so what we could do, we've got enough money to build a dreadnought right away, and I would almost suggest that. The only problem is, it will take away from our income quite a bit, and we need that to expand as much as humanly possible. Dreadnoughts are really useful though, but it will take a very long time to build. Okay, that settles it. Oops, don't build it twice. I'm gonna build a battleship here, and then I am going to invest in a couple missile boats, and you'll see it's got 20 times. These will be built alongside this, and they'll be ready to pop out when he does. I'm also going to invest in 1 lot of gunships, and this fleet should be sufficient to defend us, or at least keep us away from the talons of these guys for a while. This is the diplomacy screen, by the way. We can see a lot of our, we can see all of our empires in the game, and we can like see their particular strengths. At the moment, I've got the best diplomacy. I find that hard to imagine, but well, I suppose I've got a lot of leverage. I'll explain these as they become relevant. But as you can see, here's a point system, which lets us sort of tell vaguely who's doing well at what. Hopefully I'll be able to keep up with some of these guys. Generally I'm a mid-table player, and hopefully I can sustain that for this LP. Okay, I'm going to pause the game now again. Oh, our battleship has been built. That's nice, and what I'm doing right now is I'm just having a little look around. Alright, so, oh, an ancient shipyard. That's going to be really important to take. Holy crap, that's a Titan. Or bigger than Titan. Yeah, but that's very well defended. Basically, if you have a death wish, this is where we send you. And there's been a tiny fleet over here that's barely relevant. However, there is plutonium here, which gives us power and military, which is very nice. This is a very nice system. It's got a comet here, it's got food, it's got level 1, it's got level 2 resource. It's pretty good. I would like to take it, but it might just be out of reach. Ships like these won't move to intercept and destroy planets. However, if colony ships or any ship comes within range, they will fire. And I think pursue as well, so I've got to be careful. I might try and colonize this place if I think I can get to it safely. Okay, so right now I am looking for another level 1 resource, another decent resource that will get me money. Preferably ore production, either one is fine. Oh, jewellery. Jewellery is nice, I remember jewellery. Although it is a level 2 resource, so that will take a lot to get to. You'll also notice this grey border. This is our trade border, and only planets within it can trade with each other. So if I were to well, I suppose if I were to colonise the planet over here, my trade border would expand to it. But if I was to colonise somewhere like really far over here, and my trade borders didn't reach up to there, I couldn't supply it with anything from this trade border. Gems are really nice because they give pressure for every type of thing in the game. Military, influence, energy, military... did I say military twice? Money, influence, energy, military, production, and research. So, it's only one for each, but it's still pretty nice, because you get a nice diversity, and you get at least +1 into everything, which is pretty good. Hadrosites, haven't actually used this. As devastating wave motion beam when exported to an orbital. Ah, yes, orbital space stations. They'll be quite useful in the game, at least mid to late game. So that's probably something I'm going to want to secure. Oh, natural gas, that gives me energy. I didn't see any energy early on. Huh. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm probably going to want to secure this system too. There's some water there and some fruit, which is good. I think what I'm going to have to do is colonise ILO, then get that production, ship it here, and then I can produce things a lot faster, which will be nice. More explosives is always nice because I can export it to somewhere like on the front line so they can automatically produce defences. I've got salt over here and water, that's good. Okay, so I think my plan will be to colonise this place, then this place, and this place. And then hopefully that won't cause too much of a recession. But all of that will have to happen next time. Thanks for watching again, and I'll see you then.